Jesus Christ. The next record we're gonna be talking about is I'm just gonna open up it. It's a fucking perfect record.
What would you score it?
Well, I don't want to score it yet. We'll save that for the end. But
I'll score it now.
I mean, yeah, I guess we could score it now if you want.
No, I'm just messing around because you called it a perfect record. So it's like, gee, I wonder what the score is going to be.
Yeah, I know. Just because this record's really important to me. It's 16 years old. It turned 16 August 31st. It came out back in 2004. It's one of my favorite bands. The record's Mastodon, Leviathan. It's a 46-minute, 10-track record with the current lineup. This record kind of put them on the map. It's in a shit ton of Blood and Thunder is in a shit ton of video games. It's in a bunch of other people's like compilation records and stuff. It was released on Relapse, which I think Relapse was just a baby at the time. I don't think they're huge now. I mean, they're the shit now. But yeah,
right. They just had all the, like, just to interject, they had like all the right bands on their right time.
This record,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. This record's extremely important for sludge metal, metal in general. I don't know if they knew when they were writing this record the impact it would have 16 years later on music, on metal in general. A lot of my favorite bands definitely take influence from this record in particular, and in this band overall. They have grown away from this sound, which is fine. You know, as you get older, your music evolves. But as one album, as a piece of music, Leviathan is the perfectly wrapped up Mastodon record in my eyes. The only other record I feel like comes close is like Remission, where it's just raw power. You know, it's chaotic. And they're just like Metallica, there's this period for Mastodon where you can kind of just put up these walls where everything that they did was fucking amazing. And for most fans, I think it stops at Blood Mountain. I think Crack the Sky is the record where it's up in the air for a lot of people, but for me, it stops after Crack the Sky. Like right there, boom, Crack the Sky. And then from there on, I would say is the new age Mastodon sound. Because when you listen to Remission and then you hear Leviathan, you're like, oh, that's the next step in a way. But then when you listen to Leviathan to Blood Mountain, you're like, they're changing their sound. They're combining some of that Remission progressive chaoticness into Leviathan, that sound. Then when you listen to Crack the Sky, it's kind of like, okay, this is where they were trying to get to. This is what they were trying to make. You know what I mean? It like Metallica, I feel the same way when their music kind of progressed. You know, those, I think it's the first 3 records, right? It's Kill 'Em All, Injustice for All, Ride the Lightning.
What?
Whoa, wait, I'm saying these.
What are you doing?
I'm saying these out of order. Whoops!
You're going way out of order, buddy.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
My bad.
So it's Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets.
Master of Puppets. My bad. Then Injustice for All.
Then Injustice.
And then
Injustice is 4th.
And then we could shove the spike right there. Can we agree on that? That the sound.
Yeah,
changes.
Black Album is a stray away. Yeah, Black Album is a stray away from. Like, it's still a good record, and I think it's their highest selling record of all time. But
it's definitely, it's like, it's a step.
It's different.
It's like we're gonna be a pop metal band now.
Yes.
Right.
We're gonna write what music sounds like for this generation, basically. I think Mastodon, they write what they want to fucking write. I think Hunter On, it's a little bit predictable, and it feels like they have a formula down, and it's very poppy. So, what's up?
You would say it's predictable?
Predictable. But yeah, what I'm getting to is this record is incredible, and it's really important for music. And if you're a metal fan and you haven't listened to this record, you've probably heard Blood and Thunder at least. Like, I would think it'd be pretty tough if you didn't hear that song. It was in Guitar Hero. It was in Need for Speed Most Wanted. I think it was in one of the Tony Hawk games, which that's how everybody fucking found all their favorite bands. I'm just kidding. But it's everywhere.
I mean, you're not totally wrong.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, Tony Hawk, fuck, man. Those soundtracks are insane.
I think, speaking of Blood and Thunder, I think you know where I'm about to go with this. And I'm going to reflect on a good friend of ours who isn't with us tonight. But every time we would practice, he would spend at least, if I had to like compound it into time, 5 minutes out of every practice, he would go, "Somebody kill me."
I mean, you're not wrong. That was Josh. I tried to get him into Mastodon, Josh. And I'll
pour one out for my buddy Josh.
Yeah, I think when I was trying to get Josh into Mastodon, and if I'm trying to get anybody into Mastodon, I'm probably gonna show him this, because every song is fucking sick. Like, every song works, and not only that, every song is like relatable with the other tracks. Like, everything kind of fits perfectly. There's no track on this record where you're like, oh, this is that weak track. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, like, I think the weirdest track on this record, and I'm not including the last track, not Hearts Alive, but Joseph Merrick or whatever.
The instrumental, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not including that because they do that on Remission as well. Like,
dude, I think they do it every album.
They do it on every album.
An instrumental track at the end. Almost every album. They stopped doing it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, now they're different.
Well, Island. Like, it's really different for every other track, but at the same time, like, they find a way to make all the riffs sound big and just kind of fit on the record. I don't know if they did that purposely. It is a concept record, Moby Dick concept record, but yeah, every track belongs and every riff is perfectly placed. And I can't say that about every band, but yeah, I'm done sucking their dick.
Are you?
Yeah, I don't know. I can go on forever, but let's play one of my favorite tracks, Megalodon, which is
song.
Yeah, it's an amazing track, and it has the.
Before we even start, I just want to say that I just have to say that riff, and I think you know the one I'm talking about.
Yes.
It's fucking incredible.
It's nuts, and
it's so out of place and stupid. It's not stupid in a bad way.
Yes.
It's just like it doesn't make any sense in the context of the song.
But it's there,
and we'll talk about this a little later. But that was the part of this record where I was like, how did I not care about this band before? But I'll let you go ahead and play it.
So this is the Mastodon sound right here. All right, so we're going to play Megalodon, and then I'm going to mute you motherfuckers. Here we go. Megalodon.
Fuck it.
Good.
All right.
Were you nervous?
That was
I was a little nervous.
Mastodon's Megalodon on the record Leviathan. Emilio, tell us about this record, dude. I already ranted about how much I love it. How do you feel about this record?
Hey, man. I mean, I feel the same way. It's pretty good. Like, I think it has good moments. It has bad moments. Like, I think it could be. No, I'm just fucking around. It's a fucking perfect record, dude. Like, this was something you, me, and Mike Gilliam talked about all the fucking time. Like, maybe right around the end of high school, right when we graduated. We just fucking talked about Leviathan fucking all the time because, like, it's such a good and important record to metal music. And a lot of people, like, Mastodon has built an amazing fucking fan base. They're really nerdy. And like, they fucking love to, like you said, fucking just praise this band to no end. And like, they deserve it partially, you know what I mean? Like, they put out their first 4 albums are all masterpieces. And even like going into like The Hunter, like, I fucking love The Hunter. I even love Once More Around the Sun. I was okay on Emperor of Sand. That was their only like, album to me. But dude, this from fucking start to finish, like, I don't get tired of listening to this album. Like, there's not a point where I'm like part way through the album where I'm like, damn, they're still going. you get to Hearts Alive and you're like, oh shit, like I think, you know, it's wrapping up. Like I didn't even realize we had gotten this far on the record. But it's cool. I think like thematically the band is able to capture this kind of like seafarer theme with their instrumentals, and you know, it is about Moby Dick, but like the band the song, what is it, Sea Beast, it starts out with that really like
sounds like you're diving into water, into the abyss.
Yeah, it sounds like you're on an old creaky ship and like it's rocking back and forth and you feel gross. And maybe something's in the water. Maybe a sea beast is in the water. But I actually think the weirdest track, man, is I disagree. I don't think it's Island.
Okay.
I actually think it's Iron Tusk.
Oh, I mean, yeah, for sure.
And it's weird because I was telling Adam this while we were muted, but Iron Tusk is in the same tuning that they recorded with in Remission. In Remission, every song is tuned to D standard with the bottom string tuned to A. And Iron Tusk is tuned the same way. So like to me, when I really listened to it today and like just kind of like dissected the album piece by piece, Iron Tusk could almost be like a song that's off of Remission. It's almost like the band's last hurrah to fucking Remission.
Do you think it could have been a cut from Remission, maybe?
It could have been. It could have been a song that's been in their pocket for a minute. You know what I mean? Because Mastodon is like Leviathan for them was a really big deal as a band because they, you know, were just this band that was really trying to make it. They were fucking you know, touring the US. They were going from like venue to basement to fucking house show. And I think Braun he'd been reading Moby Dick, and like it kind of just clicked, right? Like they just wrote, like they started writing these new fucking songs, and like you said, it put the band on the map. So I don't know, Leviathan to me, man, song for song is like it's a fucking masterpiece, dude.
Absolutely.
From like the opening track to Blood and Thunder, that like iconic riff, to just that epic ending of Hearts Alive, where they're, you know, writing out that riff for a couple minutes, but it doesn't get old. It's like a fucking epic.
And you know what? A lot of records, I feel like a lot of records open up great. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking amazing. But a lot of records don't really close. Like they don't really like finish the story. You know, I'm not saying every record has to be a concept record, but like, you know, when they pick the last track, it doesn't sound like it's the last track sometimes. Like Mastodon, on those, you know, the records we were talking about, like every record ends like a book is fucking closing. And not including the instrumental track, which actually the instrumental track is almost like a prologue in a way. Sorry, not a prologue. Epilogue. It's kind of like an epilogue, but yeah. So like, Hearts Alive is like the book shutting. It reaches a huge climax, which we all know. You know, the and then, you know, the awesome guitar lead and solo that just fucking closes everything out. Yeah, and I think they pull it off so well. And I haven't heard anything really like it. It's just crazy. And it's
I don't know,
stuck
dude.
with me for so long.
It's a crazy record.
Yeah, it's stuck with me for so long, and his drumming on this record, it's always going to influence the way I play. It always is. I always want to be like this record, even when we're playing doomy shit. Like I find a way to fucking do a chaotic fill somewhere. You know what I mean? And you know, he definitely is like a fill happy drummer. Like there's a lot of fills. It's nuts. It's fucking drums are going everywhere, firing off really fast. But everything's well placed and perfect. It's sick. Like he's leading just like the guitars are leading, you know, and everything fits.
Right.
Adam.
And like I don't know what's.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, Adam.
No, Adam, go ahead.
No, Amelia, you can go on.
No, I was just gonna say like it's funny with this record because like I feel like it also it's weird. It's very important to like our friendship. Which sounds funny, but like Mastodon has been like a very Thank you. But it's been a very big part of like us as friends.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that the band like catches a lot of heat because I think in some ways like they are overhyped. Like while they put out 4 fucking masterpieces, like their first 4 records, like from start to finish, are fucking incredible. And I say that sincerely. I can't say that about a lot of bands personally, but there are a lot of bands out there that are fucking cranking out masterpieces and that are so iconic to metal that I kind of get why like you know, some people have that kind of like they're really critical of Mastodon. So I kind of get it. And the fan base is a little funny. Like they've built a very funny fan base again who like worships this band.
I love the fan base. I like the Mastodon Mayhem page, which I'll probably post this review to at some point. Shout out to them. But yeah, like dude, I look at it like this, like how many bands have 4 masterpieces?
Right.
Most bands, to me, they'll have that one record. That one fucking record, you know? And then there's a couple there's a couple of classics where like I think almost all their shit is sick. Like Metallica, like their first couple of records are perfect.
Untouchable.
Yeah. There's nothing
Yeah,
like
I'd
that.
say Metallica, Sabbath, like Sabbath, like
Sabbath
all the way
as well.
through probably like what is it, Technical Ecstasy or Never Say Die? Like even Technical
Never Say
Ecstasy,
Die.
it's like Never Say Die is like and then they got really fucking good with like Heaven and Hell and Headless Cross. I don't know, but yeah, this band, man, is like, again, Mastodon is so fucking impactful to like who I am as a musician, and I don't know, dude. Like, there's just, you know, it's like you hear Leviathan for the first time when you're like 14, 15, and then you hear it again when you're like 16, and you're like, oh shit, okay, that's everything I want to fucking be in a band.
Yeah, and it still hits you, and we're almost 30.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can
Oh,
still listen to this
shit.
record. Like, I know Jay's almost 30.
I'm almost 30.
Jay's
How do you
almost
don't you
30.
feel foolish?
Fuck.
I
So,
said it.
Adam, I'm sorry. Adam, what are some of your takeaways from this record? Because
Yeah,
this
you
is
know,
like kind of a newer listen for you.
I've tried to listen to it a couple times over the years, and it's funny. Like I spoke to it talking about Yob. Like it's one of those bands and one of those records where you specifically, Emilio, have been like, I love this band. You should listen to this band. And I listened to Emperor of Sand, and I wasn't particularly crazy about it, and I don't think you guys are either. But you know, I know that this band has been such a huge influence on you guys. And in fact, when you guys recorded and released your first EP, or demo, really, I wouldn't call it an EP. Like the first demos of just the two of you, with I think you did it with Jeff Martin.
Yep.
I was playing it at work when I worked at my previous job, and the dude that I was working with was like, "Oh, this sounds like Mastodon."
Oh, my heart.
So going into this record, you know, like I was listening to it through the lens of the two of you guys, and you know, I have to say,
This record's a piece of shit.
no, I had a lot of preconceptions going into this. I saw Mastodon in 2008. They were on tour with Against Me, Cursive, Planes Mistaken for Stars, and These Arms Are Snakes, which is like the weirdest lineup of bands. To be totally transparent, I was at the show for Against Me. I don't remember Mastodon at all. I think they were touring behind Blood Mountain, and I couldn't have given a shit because I was there for one band and one band in particular. But I've tried to listen to this record a couple times over the years, and it was finally like sitting down and getting through the last half of it where it finally clicked for me. And it combines a lot of the things that I love about metal. It combines, you know, like that thrashy Metallica, early Metallica edginess to it. It has some of the like heaviness and intellectual aspect of Neurosis. It has some elements of like even Iron Maiden, those like harmonized guitars, and some of the mathiness and the syncopation reminds me a little bit of some of the things that I like about Tool. which is another band with just like a shitty, wacky fan base that not everybody loves. But you can't deny, like, Tool is...
They're important to metal as well. You got to give credit where
and they're
it's
fucking
due.
awesome musicians, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
I like
Tool
Tool.
is a band that catches a bad rap. Like, I also think, like, in that same, you know, breath that they're like kind of cringy. But, like, you know, if I can kind of remove that from, like, if I can remove, like, the you don't fucking understand Tool from the listening experience,
How
then,
deep
like,
it
yeah,
is.
like, they're really good.
Yeah, and
Yeah, like,
that's
like, it's deep.
That's where I ended up with it. It was like I didn't listen to this record like diving into it lyrically. I just wanted to, because it's like vocally it's not something that I would ordinarily enjoy. I tried to remove myself from the lyrics and from the vocals, and I found myself really enjoying it, and that turned into, like, by my third or fourth, why the vocals are a little guttural and why they're, you know, abrasive. I can dig this, and I can tell that on repeated listens later on this week, you know, post this show, I'm gonna dive in and really enjoy the concept aspect of this, and it's gonna push me to check out Blood Mountain. It's gonna push me to check out Crack the Sky. You know, maybe I'll even... No, I won't revisit Emperor of Sand. It's fucking terrible.
I mean,
but
Emperor of Sand, I wouldn't say terrible, man. Like, it's just not what I wanted. And maybe I'm just a spoiled fucking brat, but I liked The Hunter and Once More Around the Sun. And, like, Emperor Sand is, like, it's supposed to be depressing, but, like, I just don't want to listen to that right now. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say it's terrible, but yeah.
No, it's,
like
you know,
it,
on
you
paper,
know?
like, it's not a bad record. It's just, like, of all of the fucking records, like, I never find myself going back to that one. I feel like it's very formula heavy. It's not really the band pushing themselves. And it happens, dude. Like, you know, like, to me, like, this band has never put out a bad record. And I don't even think Emperor of Sand is technically, like, a bad record, but I also don't think it's a good record. So, like, you know, they're bound to have, like, one or two fucking, like, records where it's like, because then they did a Cold Dark Place, and, like, that was cool. And that was pretty much just the Brent Hines, like, it was almost like his solo project, but he wanted to bring Mastodon into it because it's like his family, so, like, he wanted them to be there. And if you watch the recording of Cold Dark Place, I think it's like the live performance of Toe to Toe, you can see that, man. Like, they have a lot of fun in the studio. Like, they're I think they depend on each other too for, like, a lot of that emotional support. And I'm sure too, you know, like, the realist in me wants to say, like, you know, he probably used the name of Mastodon slightly to, like, also give what was mostly his work a name, right? Because, like, Mastodon's huge, so, like, he can definitely get some of that fucking exposure through it. But I think in the same breath, like, he wanted them to be a part of it, and it comes across pretty sincerely, I think.
I think a big part of what I enjoyed about this record, and something that I'll dive into later, is I'm a huge sucker for a concept record, something that's, like, unified and has an idea, like I wouldn't call it a rock opera, but I definitely, when a band takes the time and effort to create this intricate story throughout, not just musically, but lyrically, I'm just automatically like, that's fucking awesome. I couldn't do that. I could, but it takes a lot more effort than I'm willing to commit.
I don't know. This might be I know we're reviewing this album, and this is kind of like maybe a controversial take, but not really. If you wanted, like, I would say definitely Blood Mountain should be the next thing you dive into. Blood Mountain might be better than Leviathan.
Jay, actually, I was talking to Jay before we started streaming, as I was on my way home from work, and Jay said he hated Blood Mountain and it sucked and it's terrible.
No, I would never say that.
I've heard him say that too.
Absolutely not. So
it's true. Look, Jay said this is the only Mastodon record worth listening to, and if you listen to anything else, you're a garbage human being.
Absolutely not.
And
true.
you probably voted for Trump.
Absolutely not true. So here's the truth. So I love Blood Mountain. I love Crack the Sky. But my favorite Mastodon record will always be Remission.
Emperor of Sand. I know.
And this is the... Okay, they're like neck and neck, Leviathan and Remission. They're just... I love those two records. They're my number one as a whole. Blood Mountain is my next favorite one. I mean, that record's insane. That record is chaotic. It's super progressive rock sections.
Could you say
what?
All right, I'm gonna posit a battle for you. Blood Mountain or Drugs for the Dear Youth?
That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. It's oh god, man.
Actually, next time I'm on, that's what I want to review.
I would love to. We should have an episode like that. I would love to force Emilio to listen to that.
Yeah, that's next time you guys have me on. I've already picked my record, but go ahead.
I can't compare those two records. That's not fair. One is like an art piece, more or less, of like musicianship and oddities and stuff like that. And then Blood Mountain is like raw progressive power, man. I mean, I can't compare those two. It's not fair. If you wanted to throw me another metal record to compare it to, which one I like more, that'd be easier.
All right.
But you can't
Blood Mountain or
Terra Metal.
Okay, hold on. Blood Mountain or a chocolate starfish in the hot dog flavored water.
Oh, I mean, come on. Limp Bizkit, baby.
No, I digress. Let's stay back on track. I'm Go ahead.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and just rate it. This isn't gonna be a surprise to you guys. If I was gonna describe this record really quickly to somebody, it's riff heaven. That's it. It's riff heaven. Riff heaven for the guitars, riff heaven for the drums. It's a 10 out of 10.
So what do you... Perfect. I had a feeling.
Emilio.
Yeah, so... No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just checking something. Probably like a 6. 6 out of 10. No, it's a 10, dude. I think, honestly, like, their first 4 records, like, all 10 out of 10. I even think fucking Hunter's like 8 or 9 out of a 10.
The drums on
Hunter's
Hunter
really good, dude.
The sound of the drums on Hunter is fucking crazy.
But you know what's weird is, like, you listen to the, and I don't want to get too far in the weeds here, but you hear Hunter, right, for the first time after hearing Crack the Sky. And I think you're so let down because you're like, what the fuck? Like, the band, like, Mastodon just released, like, oh, what the fuck? You know, they just released, like, the perfect fucking prog metal album where it's like, damn, this is everything, like, the band has, like, culminated to. And then you hear the Hunter and it's like all these detached, like, really fucking, like, mathy kind of metal songs, but, like, you know, like, poppy too.
Catchy as fuck.
They're catchy as shit, dude. And then, you know, after like the 3rd or 4th time listening to the Hunter, you're like, okay, wait a minute. Like, this is fun as fuck. Like, this is so, like, fun to sing to, and the riffs are really good, and, like, it's still heavy. Riffs.
Dude, Drybone Valley.
Like the, I killed a man because he killed my goal.
Drybone Valley is the shit. I fucking love that. It's so catchy. And then, God, you know,
Stargasm and Blasteroid.
We need to one day just have a Mastodon episode. I think we will.
Yeah, because we can talk about it to no fucking ends. We're the fucking fan base, dude. We're the fan base that I'm talking about.
I know. I just gotta say.
Yeah, you guys are really cringy.
When they came,
thank you.
When they came out with Once More Around the Sun, I was reading reviews and a lot of people were like so iffy about it, and I was like, motherfucker, this shit is sick. Like, I was so excited.
Dude, no, Once More on the... I listened to it like fucking 4 times when they did that, like, super early release. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I had the CD and it was just always in my car going. I was just like, I fucking love this shit. Yeah, like, Jesus.
But yeah, dude, it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
I think,
Leviathan.
again, like, a lot of their albums are 10 out of 10.
All right, Adam.
Adam, what's your score?
So... I called Emilio yesterday, and I was like, listen, man, I get it. You guys like Mastodon. We get it. just stop. And I was like, I've tried listening to this record a couple times over the years, and at this point, it's a struggle to get through it. I would probably give it a 6 out of 10 when we do this on Saturday. And then I talked to Emilio. Was it earlier today or was it yesterday?
Yeah, I think it was earlier today. You texted me. You said you bumped it up.
Yeah, so I've listened to it a couple times. I finally got through the back half of it, and I spoke to this before when you played Megalodon. That fucking bluegrass riff had me a little sold, and I was like, Emilio, maybe I'd give it an 8 out of 10. And I was closing down at work today, and I played it all the way through while I was closing down. 10 out of 10.
You son of a bitch.
10 out of 10.
Hey, no, dude, it's a fucking journey, man.
It is. And at first, listening to Blood and Thunder, I was like, this is a cliche song. Somebody kill me.
Oh, it's so good.
But now, that fucking riff is stuck in my head, and I can't get it out. It's like buried in there.
At least it's easy to play.
I'm looking forward to repeated listens and learning the lyrics. And this is the kind of record that, like, I've never read Moby Dick, but maybe I will now.
It's a little boring. I've read it. Just a heads up. It's a little.
I'm sure but it's the kind of thing that'll get me started with it. Yeah. I tend to like old historical novels. More so biographies, and this clearly isn't. But I have a feeling that, like, I'm gonna at least have a passing interest in reading it, thanks to this record. And it's not just the riffs, because the riffs don't tell the story, the lyrics will. But yeah, I'm solidly impressed. I'm gonna take a deeper dive into their discography, and cheers to you guys for pushing me out of my comfort zone and making me listen to something that I previously didn't give a shit about because I thought
it was a piece of shit.
For sure, dude. No, it's been years, man. Like, and like, I was always cool that, like, I don't give a shit if, like, my friends like Mastodon or not. You know what I mean? Like, they're not for everybody, and, like, they're kind of a funny band because, like, there are metal bands who are, like, more fucking metal, right? And, like, if you have more of that, like if you like your metal, like, underground and, like, fucking, like, elite kind of, like, true metal, then this probably isn't a good band for you. Which is okay, you know what I mean? But, like, if you like that really fucking heavy, like, impressive, like, well thought out, like, metal, not to say that the other kind isn't, you know what I mean? There's fucking merit to that too. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, I'm glad that you fucking dig it, and, like,
what I really appreciate about it is they weren't afraid to take risks. They weren't afraid to, like,
absolutely
have a really intricate, clean part for 5 minutes of the last song, or they weren't afraid to throw in, like, a ridiculous chicken picking banjo riff, or I can tell, like, I've listened to Remission. They weren't afraid to, like, throw in clean vocals. I love when a band takes risks. And this was them taking their first step outside of their comfort zone. And it paid off.
What's funny is, like, some of the shit you mentioned earlier, like, just kind of like with Math and Prague, etc., like, all of this stuff being present. It's funny because, like, that is, it's present because, like, that's their background. Bron and Bill, they were in a math band called Lethargy, and I think in New York.
Yep.
Like, way the fuck back when. Brent Hines grew up, playing country and listening to country and rock, and, like, didn't even, like, he was kind of only in a metal band because, like, and again, I think this is just from what I've read. I could be inaccurate here. But I think, like, he kind of wanted to be, more edgy. Like, he likes metal, and that was kind of the shit he was listening to. But he was younger, and that's, like, really what he wanted to play. But he incorporated that, like, fucking, like, country twang kind of rock influence in there. And then Braun, the fucking drummer, I think one of his favorite albums is The Lamb Lays Down on Broadway by Genesis, which is probably one of...
secret. You love Genesis.
Yeah.
I do fucking love Genesis,
Genesis is
dude.
great.
I love Peter Gabriel Genesis. Because Phil Collins Genesis is, I know he was always in the band, but I mean like Phil Collins leading Genesis, I think is okay. Peter Gabriel Genesis, where he's like, oh, I'm a flower, I'm a pyramid, I'm an egg. Like, that's my fucking favorite Genesis, when he's just weird as shit and like prancing around on stage.
Selling England.
But
by
yeah,
the pound.
I don't know. I'm gonna stop fucking. I'm gonna stop nerding out about this band. Just Leviathan is a fucking masterpiece.
Okay, so we're all giving it a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Is
Is it time for a show and tell?
No.
Oh, we're closing out the
We're gonna.
Yeah, we gotta
close out-
listen to another song.
Yeah, we're gonna listen to another song. I'm gonna put on. Well, first of all, maybe I shouldn't. I picked Megalodon. It's my favorite track. Amelia, what's your favorite track?
I mean,
Wow, pick the guy who loves the record.
it's hard to say.
forever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Adam, why don't you pick it? Because I
thought
fucking
he
listened to
said
this record
Megalodon was
1,000.
his favorite track.
Well, I said that riff was my favorite riff.
Okay, what's your favorite track, Adam?
Yeah, what's your favorite track?
I think honestly, Hearts Alive.
Okay, I'll play it.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. This is
Fuck
Hearts
it.
Alive by Mastodon. God damn! Mastodon has the fucking best riffs in the world, but you already knew that. Thank you for watching the video. Listen to Leviathan. Listen to everything Mastodon makes. They're my favorite band. 10 out of 10. Fuck yeah. Anywho, please subscribe. Hit that sub notification bell to stay current with Church of Riffs videos. Comment your favorite Mastodon riff. It doesn't even have to be a Leviathan riff. Any fucking Mastodon riff. They're the best. Like the video if you liked it, and follow us on the Twitter, the Facebook, and to catch us all live, catch us live, at the live, on the live, at Twitch, Church of Riffs. Thank you for watching.